Hello, boys and girls. This is JC. Today we have something from a new company, kind of a new, well, not a new company, but it's one that I haven't covered. And this is the Rex from Magic Yo-Yos. Magic Yo-Yos, yeah. They're actually quite a popular brand, but usually what they do is lower end stuff. And it's interesting because when I do my reviews, sometimes I do lower end, super accessible yo-yos, but sometimes I also do these weird, high-end, expensive, like these niche yo-yos that are hard to get. And I guess there's appeal to both, right? One is like, you wanna know if you should buy this new yo-yo or this budget throw. But on the other hand, it's interesting. I think it's interesting to see a lot of the super expensive top-end yo-yos, how they play, how they're built, and yeah, just to get an idea, right? So what's interesting about this yo-yo Rex is that I think it's kind of in between the two, right? So, I mean, it's $470 retail, so it's not. It's a TiSS, a TiSS yo-yo, so it's not by no means budget. But the reason why I call it that is because of the secondary market. This yo-yo retailed at 470, like it's the tier, it's basically top tier when it comes to positioning, right? It's meant to be the highest end of yo-yos, right? It's on par with, for example, the Strelitzia from C3 or the TiSS Hummingbird or something like. Honestly, there are not too many TiSS yo-yos out there. I mean, RSO has some, but yeah, it's a pretty exclusive club, right? And they usually, I've never seen one costing less than 400. But even though this retailed for 470, close to 500, on the secondary market, I see these popping up once in a while for close to 200, like less than half of the price. And that's what makes it interesting because, I mean, for 470, and would you get this? I'd say the verdict is maybe, probably not. But at 200, being able to get a titanium with stainless steel, which is probably one of the most difficult things to machine, I think it might be worth trying. But first, we have to make sure this yo-yo is good, right? So once again, we have Magic Yo-Yo Rex, and it comes with a pretty nice wooden box. Again, it's positioned at 470, so everything is super high end. And the machining process, I think it's excellent. Like you don't see any machine marks, you don't see any flaws on the yo-yo surface, and this transition is like perfectly smooth, right? And the yo-yo looks nice, which isn't always the case with Magic Yo-Yo. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of their aesthetics. A lot of their yo-yos just honestly look kind of cheap to me. Again, that might be a bias, but yeah, most of their yo-yos I'm not a huge fan of in terms of look. But the Rex looks good. It looks sharp. The profile is like a combination between a V and a solid, but with more curves, right? Like an hourglass shape. But it's still quite a sharp and aggressive profile. So yeah, it's a really comfortable shape to hold. In terms of play, there's one word I can use for this yo-yo, for Rex, is power. And this throw has so much power. When I first, I've tried a few TiSS yo-yos, titanium stainless steel yo-yos, but none of them had this kind of power. I believe it partially has to do with the diameter. Like the diameter is one of the largest among TiSS yo-yos out there, maybe the second or third largest. No, it might be the largest actually, because the Bushido, it was the largest, but it was titanium with brass. So yeah, this might be the largest diameter. Let's do a comparison with, once again, the Shutter. Right, the Shutter is not a small yo-yo, and the Rex is just one hair, like just a tiny bit bigger than the Shutter in terms of diameter, and then the width. The Rex is just a tiny bit smaller than the Shutter, or maybe I'd say close enough. Yeah. So the Rex is quite a large yo-yo, and it's tall, right? And with the raw finish, I think every time you bind, every time you like if you let the yo-yo hit your hand, God forbid, it really hurts. It really hurts. You can feel it like rubbing against your skin. And maybe that contributes to the power, the quote unquote power that I feel when playing with this yo-yo. But I do think this Rex is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful yo-yo I've ever thrown, at least in the beginning, right? Because later on, the power is there's kind of a diminishing return. Like if if I play with this Rex, I can probably keep going with relatively basic or like not so aggressive tricks for maybe a minute, 15 seconds. I think that's what I got after a few tries, a minute, 15 seconds, the average. But with another bimetal or another like titanium stainless steel, you can probably get to a minute, right? No problem. So sure, there's a difference, but it's not like massive, especially when you're doing aggressive, like real tricks, real competitive tricks that this yo-yo is meant for. The spin time is not a huge difference. Although the power does contribute in other ways, for example, stability, right? The yo-yo does not get thrown off the axis easily. So this might be something that only titanium stainless steel can achieve, right? Raw titanium or mono titanium can kind of do that, but in most of the throws I've tried, they're not exceptional compared to their monometal counterparts. They're not like noticeably better. But the Rex, I think, is noticeably better than a similar yo-yo, right? A similar yo-yo to like a yo-yo with a similar shape with aluminum and steel. So, right, maybe TiSS is how you push titanium to the limit, right? Perhaps because yeah, you need to take advantage of the difference in weight, right? In weight of the material. When you just have monometal, you can only kind of manipulate the shape, which is nice. But this is kind of, I'm guessing this is the ultimate weight distribution. So yeah, the Rex is an excellent yo-yo. It's got lots of power. It's good for pretty much everything. There's one issue though, one complaint, which is the gap. I feel like the gap on this is a little bit too tall. Like the wall is a bit too high and the gap is just maybe a bit narrow. If you compare this design to a lot of the modern yo-yos, even again the shutter, you can see, right? You can see the shutter. It kind of, the wall is just lower, right? It's got the pad, right? That's it. It's got the response pad, and then it just falls off. Sorry, you can't really see. There you go. Response pad, it just falls off. Meanwhile, the Rex has this area here, this protrusion here. You see? And because titanium is grippy, like this is way grippier than the regular, I think it might be grippier than a regular raw yo-yo, but yeah, compare this to an anodized yo-yo, this is super grippy. So I believe this is what makes this yo-yo a bit more snaggy, because that's what I felt when I played. This yo-yo is a lot snaggier, even after I replaced the response pad and the bearing. Let's make another comparison to this one, the Thai crown, right? Thai crown. You can see, once again, you can see this part. It just feels unnecessary. I know maybe the high wall does contribute a little bit, like it helps with cushioning or with just overall, might help with stability, but yeah, I don't think they really hit the sweet spot with this design here. So this is the one issue. Like I'm scared to put multiple layers of string into this yo-yo. That might be a deal breaker for some people. But aside from that, if you keep your tricks not that complicated, yeah, this is a all-round top performer with excellent build quality, and yeah, you get to, again, titanium, stainless steel, the ultimate combination. You get to try that at $200 on the secondary market. If you find one, I would definitely recommend trying it. That's all. Thank you.